Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. See some people asking about my mic check. Oh my gosh. You guys are great. Fantastic, you guys. Like, really, what the world? I come to the stream early because I like that mic test. No, but nobody does that, okay? We're gonna get started here in just a couple of minutes. A nice chill stream today. Should be pretty laid back. Whew. Jan says the mic is quiet. Okay. I always have the traveling weights music a little bit higher than normal, so that might be what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Boys and girls, welcome to the official ROCKFISH Games stream where I am your host and your guide, Eric Schrader, the community ambassador for ROCKFISH Games. For a second there, I forgot what my title was. Woo! That's right, that's what type of stream it is today. So, if I look like I am tired, if I look like I might be a little sick, don't worry about that. Look past those details, all right? I've got medicine in me. I am well hydrated. I am pumped, even though I don't know how to pronounce hydrated, apparently. But today, we are going to be flying through some EVERSPACE 2 per usual, and we'll be talking to you as you chatters pop into the stream, ask your questions, have some banter. You know the usual. It should be fairly pleasant in most cases. So, where did we leave off last time? This is a great question that I sometimes have to ask myself. Let's go ahead and do that. Right over here to the stream save, which I hope I didn't botch. Pretty sure I didn't because I tested this like 5 times. We should be in a Vanguard. Yes, in the home base. This is the ship that we had chosen. We were showing off the new body parts that we are well in the works for, in particular the light class here. We've got the engines and the bodies. Now, are there more engines and bodies that I can show you today? I don't want to tease that because I can't. Nope. Nothing new regarding the bodies except for these which we showed last week. So you can see that there is absolutely progress happening for the light ships and also for the heavy ships, frankly. It's just, you know, it's a constant working thing where we got to add all these modular beauties into the game. And we've also been working on the mediums as well, so you are aware. So fun fact, some of you have actually seen the tier 3 and tier 4 wings of the medium ship class, the medium heavyweights, if you will. You can actually see one that was on the weight page just a second ago. That's actually a tier 4 wing set for the Sentinel. Now, they're not done. All the effects aren't finished up on them, including like the lateral thrusters, the emissive lights, various details like that. So those are still getting more added to them for these beautiful ship models. That's going to be Matthias. He is our 3D art master when it comes to the player ships themselves. It's pretty freaking amazing. So hats off to him as he continues down in the nitty gritty bits of player ships, making some cool looking stuff for you guys to customize your fighters with. All right. Aside from that, we are moving into the Ghost Fleet, which is still in the Cedo area. I am hoping to move into Union today because if I can sneak it in, there's even more music that Giho has added into the game space. Even more. One in particular, I quite enjoy. So hopefully we can get to that part in the game. Yeah, more. It just keeps coming. It just keeps coming. And I mean, I am confident that as we continue building out new systems, that even more music is going to be designed to ensure that those systems feel unique and varied and exciting. Oh my goodness, look at this. Oh, the unknown. Yeah, okay, so now you can actually see regions were placed into the nebula. That's something that's new. Not that it reveals anything, but they're definitely there now. So yeah, lots of funsies in getting these elements all ironed out. Man, that is it's just a pretty scene right there. I enjoy that a lot. Anyway, so yeah, we're still over here in our rinky-dinky early beginnings. So let's just keep cruising through that. And as I am playing, we can talk about a great many topics, honestly. So if any of you are coming in for the first time to one of these community streams, let me give you the quick rundown of how this works. Basically, hi, my name is Eric Schrader. I'm the community ambassador for ROCKFISH Games. I work directly on the team, with the team, for the team, by the team. And I also make sure to engage with you in the Discords, on the forums, over on Reddit, wherever it is that you are sneaking in, so that your voice is heard, at the very least, and we can make this game the best it can possibly be together. Sometimes details don't work out. The stream is our fast avenue to help communicate what's working and what's not, so you can have like the perfect amount of information of where we're at and what we're doing. So a little bit of the focus today is just engaging with you all and sharing what's going on. It's not really going to be teasers so much. It's not going to be like giving you new content, but it is going to be active participation with you, so that if anyone out there is kind of like, what's happening? What my expectation was this? Why is that going on? Or, you know, whatever, we can iron out those details. That is what we do. And that was an incredibly long explanation for the stream, but it's good. We also have a couple members in the chat who are noteworthy participants for all of you. One of which is Michael Shade, the CEO of ROCKFISH Games. He is both in YouTube and Twitch, I believe. Over on Steam, don't worry, we haven't forgotten about you. We love you dearly. And Shuzan's gonna be over there making sure none of your questions are missed. So if you've got a question or an observation, let us know. We'll be chatting with you as well. Maybe he can fly a striker today. Yeah, we could change things up. Ooh, a striker. You know, oh my gosh. I keep bouncing around what my favorite ship is. It keeps happening, which is a good sign for balancing purposes at this point in the game, but at the same time, there's still a lot more stuff coming, so that'll probably change further. But man, I do love me some striker. Holy cow. Striker is a lot of fun, and it just feels good to synergize with. All right.
Units of those ships.
Oh, yes. Also, I need to kill the voice because we don't want to have to play Let's Talk over what the game characters are saying. And then also, let's just make sure that we haven't missed any questions yet. How's the team? See, this is a fantastic little question. So we had kind of a wonky week. Gonna be honest, Destro. We had a little bit of a wonky week. It's been good. You know, we got individuals who also are getting sick a little bit. Nothing dire, nothing crazy. There's not like a COVID scare. I want to clear that right now. It's just, you know, that time of the year when people get a little, you know. And then we've got people on vacation. Wait, I just said that. So we've got like a combination of people kind of out and working with other things. But I also want to assure you guys that we actually had a pretty crazily intense, I could have described that with such more nuance. We had a big meeting last week. We had a really big meeting last week, and we ironed out a lot of details. I also kind of alluded to this last Friday, but basically we are trimming the fat, so to speak, and we are punching in the powerful proponents of the game that have seen success that just need more detail. So we are, a lot of what we're doing right now internally is like ironing out, fleshing out those thoughts and details that are either currently in the game or haven't been added that need to be, so that we stay on track for our particular deadlines. In particular, the Kite Nebula drop, which is end of September, beginning of October. Is that right? Or is it end of October, beginning of November? Shoot, Michael, I've already forgotten our dates. But one's accurate and one is not. But one is where the experimental branch goes live at the end of a month, and then the full release is gonna go live at the beginning of the next month. So this way it gives us a little bit of time, end October. Thank you, Flory 2931. End of October, beginning of November. Thanks for that clarity. There's too many months to keep track of, let me tell you what. Anyway, so that's the game plan. That's what we've locked into place. And we are on track as of right now to hit those figures. With that being said, I mean, there's been a lot of work on the Kite Nebula. Not all the locations are done. Not all the missions are done. It's, you know, it's pretty big work in progress. And then on top of that, we are making sure that the directions we're taking moving forward, even some of the foundational aspects of the game, like consumables, as a complete random example that I'm not alluding to anything whatsoever, you know, and how they fit into the current game space, if we're happy with them or not, if you guys are happy with them or not, and just bringing that all together in the ways that it needs to be done. Also, you know, taking things that, just lots of that. Full release is out in 2022, what year is it? 2021? 2022 is the current plan for the full release. And I do want to, like, I think I've said this before, but I just want to, like, point out from our meeting last week, which was real good, super healthy, and making sure that we are putting emphasis where it needs and cutting the crap that we don't. There are also, like, details with deadlines and whatnot that are kind of in the works, okay? I want to be straight honest with you guys. I'll be straight honest. That means we could see a little bit of fluctuation with, like, the Kite Nebula drop. We could see fluctuation and maybe another drop after that. We could see a fluctuation in the full release. I don't know yet, okay? That's something that we are ironing out because, again, these are very important details to lay out through development, right? So we have our figures that we want to hit. We're recognizing some things are where they need to be and other things aren't. So if there are changes to that, we will make those announcements accordingly across all of our platforms, on the streams, you know the drill. You know the drill. But I just want to give you guys that heads up. Cool. Another Eterna bypass. And the Eterna bypass was actually a conversation that I've had internally with some team members. We're probably going to see a little bit of adjustment to this as well, namely just how much it offers. I think there has been a little bit of, there's been some commenting about how 20 points in an attribute is largely insignificant. Sure, we'll see. We still have a lot more to go in the balancing all of that, especially since we don't have all the levels in the game yet. That's gonna make a very big impact on how Eterna bypasses function. But we do recognize that at level 18, when you're getting a mere 20 points stat boost in an attribute, for finding 3 Eterna bypasses, which can take well over an hour, depending on which ones you go find, that's not exactly rewarding. We acknowledge that. Okay. Let's see. Green screen needs a nudge. Oh my goodness! I saw it up there. What are you doing? You knock it off. Yeah, I did bump it. I bumped it yesterday. Ugh. How dare you? I didn't adjust any light sources or anything. Maybe it's my chair? Hang on. Huh. I didn't change any settings. At least I'm pretty sure. Hang on a second. Let's do this live on stream. What could possibly go wrong? Let's change the filters to make sure that it's all working correctly. All right, is that... Whoa, whoa, whoa. Nope, now my head's disappearing. Okay, too much. Too little. Hang on. My head is still disappearing, but it's much better. It's... I like how I had to touch my hair to make sure it's still there, you know? Because if it's invisible on the screen, that means it must be gone, right? Goodness. All right, I think this is... No, I still see it in the corner. Well, guys, we're not gonna fiddle with this too much. I can tweak this like off stream, and hopefully we don't see that little corner thing going on. But if it does, just pretend it's not there, okay? That's how we're gonna deal with it today. That works, right? Just ignore it. Ugh. Sorry about that. Okay, let's go ahead and grab another AI unit, which should trigger the next thing here, and we will keep going. Show less lights and more of the others. One ship each stream would be fair enough. Yeah, that's actually what I try to do. We're gonna do this boss fight, and then we're gonna go get another ship. Yep. The new radiation debuff. Oh my gosh, yeah. It's affecting me in real life. Pretty sure I have some other large issues at hand if that was going on. I look away for a minute and Eric is suddenly melting. Don't worry, all is well. Everything's fine. All right, let's try and boost up our shields a little bit. Okay. How bad would a bug need to be that the second experimental build needs to be deployed? Well, Callahan, so for reference or for insights, the experimental builds aren't sort of like an early access on top of an early access, right? So the early access is the most stable version of all the content we have created at that point in time. The experimental is not all that stuff has been thoroughly tested yet. So we implement those early access builds to have everybody dive in on and start figuring out if we completely broke the game or not. And if there was something that was significant to that experimental build that is a game changer, right? Like absolutely destroys the experience through an exploit or through a system error or whatever, then we recycle that or we adjust that and push that into the dev build for the actual full release of the update. It's just kind of an expanded catch for the big stuff. There's still little things that get through, and that's fine. We just take those in the back and we keep working on them, much like we've done from our last updates. And I've given you like full content drops of like, the elements that are changing to the game experience, right? But for all intents and purposes, experimental branch is like the quick test to ensure that the next big update is going to be just fine. So that's why we do that. That's why we do it in that order. I forgot I had this beam laser. I used the scatter gun too much. Didn't even realize I had the beam laser. Oh, come on! We missed. All right, let's try this again. Oh good, he kind of followed us. That's nice. That should be good. Oh no, no, oh. Hang on, can we went too fast. Hey guys, let me show you how to do this boss battle. Proceeds to do everything terribly. Okay, here we go. Much better. Anyway. Another drone rack. Neat. Ooh, some ship colors too. That'll be nice. How did that do so little damage? All right. Stardust. That's a nice off-white. Feels good. Probably plug that in. An ember. Oh, we got the red emissive light. Okay. That feels good too. That feels real good. All right. So trigger this little cutscene. We'll just let it run so I can see what you guys are talking about. DLSS support. It's currently implemented. Double ship color drop. I know, right? Like that's some serious feel goods. That's some serious feel goods. Stardust is your new favorite? Cause yeah, no, we added Stardust in the summer patch. Zarkov. So that came with 9 other colors. We added 10. And felt real good to add more colors in. There was some healthy discussions internally about what colors we should be providing and what colors we shouldn't. But more colors is always better, right? And we try to make sure that, like, there's no 2 colors that are too similar. So, yeah. Oh yes, the race. I wonder if I can do this without killing myself. Whoop! Not ideal movement. But we did it, boys! That's kind of one of those do as I say, not as I do situations. Woo! It's fine. Everything's fine. The good news about the Vanguard is that if we would have got stuck in a situation there, probably would have been fine with the added shields. But, you know. Stardust is good in metallic. Yeah, I like Stardust in both the plain colors and metallic. It's one of the few colors I actually think works really well in all states. Any chance of cosmetic rewards for side missions? It's possible. It is possible, Callahan. So, yeah, so like with that big meeting that I was referring to last week, we had to iron out things that must happen versus things that would be like nice to have, right? And I will say straight up that we do have customization options that are in the nice to have. Will we get to all of them? No, we're not. We're not gonna get to all of them. Will we get to some of them? Probably. And we'll have more information when we can like talk about like reveal that whenever we get to that state. For now, we want to make sure that the content added to the game adds meaning to the gameplay experience. And then on top of that, all the candy is going to come into play, right? Where we get that added customization or those cosmetic feel goods, stuff like that. Stream dead. Uh-oh. Stream is still live here. My bit rate's showing it's fine. I will say that I am getting some dropped frames, however. Let me do a quick double check here. All right, yeah, I'm gonna be watching this. I haven't had any streaming issues through my testings as of late. So that being said, ironically, we've been optimizing the game space. So if there's a hiccup, it's very likely on my end, not on the game's end. So I'll keep track of that. If anything real wonky happens, I know you guys will just like slam it in the chat. Everything's terrible and on fire. It's fine. We'll get it worked out. So you guys let me know if anything weird happens. Otherwise, yeah, we're gonna keep going. Oh wait, before we meet Dax, we need to swap our ship. It is important that we swap our ship. We need a new shiny ship with new colors. With new colors. So we're gonna head over to Nefty's Plains. Whoops. There we go. I do like this Vanguard though. I'm a big fan of the new engines. Big fan of the new engines. So yeah. Average frames per second is around 120, I think. I think average is around 60. But there's the possibility of going up to, I think a lot of gamers, if you will, like to go up to 144, which is I would say a standard for like, especially for Twitch shooters. I am streaming at 60 frames per second, but I'm playing the game at 144, for example. Actually, no, I have it frame locked right now. Yeah, I have it capped right now. That's actually for streaming purposes. So I lied to you. Lie redacted. Or not redacted. You know what I'm saying? Corrected. You need more frames? We could all use more frames, right? Everybody could use more frames. Race rewards still on the horizon. Kazaa, I'm gonna be real with you. Race, they're not a priority right now. They're not a priority right now. So could there be rewards? Yeah, we desire to make something useful for the player to do racing at all, but it's not something that we are like actively going out of our way to accomplish right now. So we will see what happens in the future. So we need a striker. I think I'm okay looking at the ship dealer. I guess not. We're gonna have some fun little spoilers. Hey! All right, so this is just a little baby Vanguard. Oh, wonderful. We've got a scout. Oh, he's cute too. They have the boring engines and cockpit though. Wow. How unoriginal. Anyway, we also have a gunship here. We also have a bomber. Oh, I like that color scheme though. It's like silver and gold. I like it a lot. We've got an interceptor. We have 2 interceptors. Guys, we didn't get a striker. We didn't get a striker. So you know what that means. You know what that means, right? Give me 1 second. Go ahead and check out our socials because it's a wonderful, delightful, fun, happy, good times. All things forever. It's just the best thing ever. I'm just confident of that. Oh my gosh. And let me tell you what. We've got that Discord. It's a lovely time to hang out with us and chill and cause mischief. What a delight. What a true delight of all things it is. I am not delaying for any other reason whatsoever at all. For sure, 100% guaranteed confirmed. And the stream is gonna start in just a second, probably. Yeah, so crazy thing. In the time that I was like explaining all of these things for you guys, so I talked to the shopkeep on a personal level, and then, you know, he was just like, hey, you know what? Let's give you a striker. So that was nice of him. That was nice of him. Very good. All right, so we're gonna change the colors. We kind of like the rockfish usual, but I think we want to make things a little more dynamic here. So first off, let's go to Stardust, because it is such a nice, it's just a nice matte finish. That off-white does so much to the details of these ships, which Matthias deserves all the praise for. So that in and of itself, I love it. Let's see, we could also, we might, actually wait a second. Let's look at this. I kind of like how weird this looks. I kind of like that. The offset contrast with the red finish. I'm kind of digging this. Let's this is too much. I think we need to go standard Stardust and then a brighter red and white. I think this works actually. I think this works. We're gonna matte finish that just a little bit more, get just a tiny bit more shine to the metallic parts. I'm gonna go with this. I'm gonna go with like, this is like the face only a mother would love type of a ship. But dang it, we're going with it. And so then we're gonna change our colors. Look at that red. Oh, that red is standing out. It's almost too red, but that's fine. So we have the missiles and the front of the ship. I don't think our engine type actually has any additional lights on it, and the wings don't either. Not this tier 1 variant, at least. Oh, whoops, we forgot to save our changes. I got so excited I hit launch. There we go. All right. So aside from that, let's see. Let's dump some elements into our perks. Nothing crazy. Oh, we found a Bloodstar repeater? Yes, please. Oh, that's an empty slot. Perfect. So we're kind of heavy on kinetic damage, but beam laser can help us out. Railgun, actually, you know, we're gonna use this blaster. And then I think after that, we're just gonna sell. We're gonna sell because we need more credits. Actually, let's buy that back because that was better. Now we can sell. If you ever sell something and you're like, oh crap, where did it go? And you start like scrolling through everything, you're like, oh crap, where is it? Stop. Just press the rebuy button right here, and it shows everything that you sold. You go through that list, and when you buy it back, you get it back for the same price that you sold it at. So it's not costing you an arm and a leg or anything like that. It's a very simple fix. You saw me just do it. It took like less than 5 seconds. All right, cool. Then we'll also activate our signal decoder. Cool. Yeah, I strangely like this a lot. It's like two ships ran into each other, and then this is the result. Like, the white ship ran into the black ship, and they just got stuck, and somebody slathered some red over the top of both of them. That's what it looks like. So we're gonna go with this. Excellent. Another the Stardust. Clever Spoon Knight. All right, so we're gonna continue over to Union Bridge. Gonna make sure your questions are getting answered. Just a shout out to my boss, Michael, because he is dropping some love to all of you guys and answering a lot of those questions you have while I am focusing on making my ship look weird. So thanks for that, Michael. He doesn't have to be here, you know, like he's got high level stuff that he's constantly working on, and he makes the time and the space to show up here to answer your questions and make sure I'm not revealing anything too early. Like, he does a sound job of that. So just big shout out to Michael, honestly. CEO in chat, like, what in the world? I think it's awesome. Looks like I'm missing a question. Let me see. So Bearded Frog, I see, is being able to color all parts of the exterior of ships coming within reason. The uncolorable silver areas often ruin designs. I think that there's some subjective interpretation there about the silver ruining designs, but that being said, there has been an internal conversation about kind of like a base color that you could purchase ships at. I'm gonna use Rocket League as an example, a light example, okay? And again, this is just a concept that we have talked about internally, okay? Where, you know, Rocket League has your base colors for your cars, right? And then you have the popular ones that are titanium white, for example, or like you have the black ones and stuff. So it's something we've discussed. Are we gonna move forward with something like that? That's a very good question that I cannot answer. It's on that massive list of would be nice to have that has like super little to no priority, okay? So we'll see where we go. I mean, also on that same list though, to your benefit, is like, you know, more color options and other little details that I can't quite reveal at this time. So there's gonna be more customization. It's not gonna be like super crazy, I'm not gonna say that, but there is still going to be more customization in the future that should get you more towards those designs to feel better about what your ship looks like, to bring it together, you know? But just giving you the transparency, that's the type of conversations we've been having internally to figure out, do our ships have the capability of looking cool enough? Weird seeing Eric in one-time speed. Welcome to the live stream, Jeremy. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, oh my gosh. I watched all of the videos that I missed in like 1.5, sometimes at 2. So that's hilarious. Some ships have tons of areas like that. Yeah, especially the lower tiers. I agree. I do agree, and I understand. The idea from Rocket League sounds good, but don't make us pay for a Crimson ship. Dude, let me tell you what. We've got a massive story of how ROCKFISH came to be, and it involves microtransactions and how we're never going to do them. So I can even say this in front of my boss. If we ever started going in the direction of microtransactional pay waddles, I would leave. That's how confident that I am that that's not the direction we are going to take this, okay? We do have plans for a massive expansion to the game, and that will be a premium price. Who knows what that price will be at this point in time? There's going to be a lot of content to it. much like we did with EVERSPACE 1, but it's not going to be like, oh, you want this package of ship colors? Well, that'll be $5.99. Oh, you want these new logos for your ship? Well, that'll be $2.99. Oh, you want access to this system? That'll be $9.99. No, full stop. That's not what we're doing at all. No. Not gonna happen that way at all. Now, I also want to be clear, because I see the comment about DLC for money. Full game's not out yet. So once we get to the full game, that's when how we crack into that DLC, what that looks like, is going to take place. Yeah, sure, we have some concepts and ideas that we're moving to the DLC proposition. But for all intents and purposes, we don't begin that process until 1.0 is done, so you guys are aware. I'm an absolute savage. I just skipped the cutscene for all this happening. Gonna skip that as well. Michael says, careful here, Eric. If we did online multiplayer at some point, just thinking out loud, a GAAS business model like Destiny 2 is fairly likely. That's fair. That's fair. But, pretty confident that we are not going in a direction of online multiplayer anytime soon. I guess I should state, I'm referring to EVERSPACE 2 in all things whenever I'm referring to these microtransactional models. So, but the point is, I'm basically putting my job on the line and telling you guys that we're not doing microtransactional payment models. That's the point, okay? That's how guaranteed we are locked into a premium price for EVERSPACE 2, okay? And that's it. That's it. My job's on the line right now, apparently, that we're not gonna go that direction. That's how secure I am in knowing that's not what we're gonna do to you guys. That would just be cruelty. Just be cruelty. But yeah, for the future games, who knows? Who knows? We're gonna look at the best business plan and marketing strategies. Throws Destiny in the trash, please no. How dare you have an opinion on the internet? Who let this guy, he's got an opinion! Guys! It's fine if you don't like Destiny. It's just an example. But careful though, because Michael does have the banhammer abilities, and I think he's a pretty big fan. All right, so we just finished things up. We got our hive back online. Some spoiler things happened, which I guess that includes getting hive back online. Whoops. But now we're gonna head on over to the Union system, where I'm hoping to showcase some new, beautiful music. Pretty sure it'll work. Pretty sure it'll work. Do any ships have moving parts? No. We've seen that request before. It would be super cool. It would also be a lot of work because we have a lot of different modular components that we're even still working on. Could it happen? Yes. Is it likely to happen? No. It's really not. I would not expect us to have moving ship parts. New music, you say? Yes. New music. A little bit of new music. Nothing like super crazy, and obviously I can't highlight the Kite Nebula's music, which is also new. But we'll get to that when it drops. We'll get to that when it drops. That's fine. Maybe I opened the door for conversation surrounding microtransactions a little bit too much, but guys, I just want to wrap this up. Microtransactions can be used effectively. They can also be used deviously. We are avoiding this in its entirety. No horse armor, okay? That's what I'm saying. Could we do microtransaction in the future where it's appropriate for a future title or something? Yes. Are we doing that for EVERSPACE 2 in any regard? No. Cool? All Gucci? Are we good? I want to make sure because this is a pretty important expectation to realize. We're not even to the good part yet. Just wait. We're gonna go into press.starbase and we're gonna get some better goods. Yeah. Oh. I kind of got dizzy there. I did mention I have a little bit of a headache, didn't I? Woo. All right. I don't know if the music's going to trigger immediately or not. It might be like in the cycle, but regardless. Oh, also, that's a bug. Don't look at that. That's a bug. That's going to get fixed. Don't worry about it. We've been working on the buildings of Prescott. Music, don't transition. No, go back. How do I cycle music? I know there's a cheat. Dang it. Don't worry, it'll come back. It'll come back. But we've been working on the different components of Prescott. So again, this is currently an issue. This is going to be put back to where it belonged. There's the music. All right. There you go. Some details getting added here and there. Also a little bit to showcase underneath. Hearing the sound effects? New stuff added. You might see a couple more signs and details. Still not done in this location though. We still have more work to go. But some locations, I think this is actually one of them. There's more detail that you can actually see if you're looking closely. I know one for sure. This is the slums district. You see all these boxes. These have been refined, so there's more detail and polish on this. Just kind of doing a little tour here. You can see a lot more of the detail flying through here. Let me just, oh, nice. Beautiful. So this is where you can really see the detail here, like these pipes. Look at this, we've even got like sideways gutters falling off. Because again, these slums, these are housing units, all right, in Prescott Starbase. Destroy. Death to GMB. This is new. And again, this is not, we're not finished. I'm just showing you just a little teaser because there's still more. There's still more coming. All right, let's start doing the missions and we'll keep going from here. I'm just gonna skip through these. I don't think anybody really wants to like read the dialogue. And if there's somebody out there, I guess your best bet's gonna either be watch the vlogs or to, I guess buy the game? I'm not sure. So many secrets in this level. Yeah, actually I'm kind of like marking some of them on the map, but I tried not to get too many. But there is a lot here. All right, here, let's just pause for a second. Because as I move, there's different music that triggers based on what part of the city you're in. So let's just listen to this track for a little bit and I'll answer some more questions. The slums look like that weird building, Tokyo, really cool. Yeah, we actually drew inspiration from real world cities and the creation of our gigantic sci-fi space city. You get frame drops on your 2070. Does that count as a potato PC? No, that does not sound like a potato PC. But there's a ton of factors that could be in place with that Finny Master. If you are having issues, actually, I feel like, have you reported frame drops on the forums? I feel like I recall your username on the forums about frame drops. Anyway, we do try to look into the frames and system issues of each individual person that's reported on the forums to make sure that we can optimize not only for your specific setup, but also for what our game has to offer. So we're hoping that this music edition kind of gives you more of the vibe that this is not a nice, pleasant, uplifting place to be. Prescott Starbase, as described by Hive himself, is a place of scum and villainy. Probably not where your grandma lives, unless she's a gang member. Last experimental release on the forums. Okay, yeah. So we'll keep ironing out details and whatnot. The reports that you guys have online help us a ton to figure out little subtle optimizations and whatnot. That generally help out the whole, as opposed to just like a single person at a time. The generator over here, what's... Somebody's running a tractor nearby? Not quite sure. Alright, stopping at the palace, skipping more transitions and whatnot. Cool. Gladly drop those in. And then we'll keep going. For those of you guys who don't know, you should take a little bit of time flying into Prescott Starbase as well. It's not just what's on the outside that's important. There's stuff to do on the inside as well. For example, this red light, it's red not because you can shoot it, but because it's showing that it's closed. Whoop. A lot of places to go and explore in here. All right, let's head on to our next location. All right, so yeah, I hope that you're liking some of these new beats that I'm able to share with you. We are pretty happy with how things are being delivered thus far. You can also see that there's been very minor tweaks to UI. So Forlorn Vale, which is too high level for us, now instead of having like the purple highlight, now the whole blown thing is just purple. Just to give a little bit more context on how things are supposed to be represented. I will continue to tweak UI, make things more bold or less bold or, you know, whatever. Grandma's gangsta, oh my gosh. All right. Whoop. So one quick thing before I take this battery, because like every time I go through this mission, I take it. I'm just gonna leave it right there because I always pass by the destroyed ship. There it is. Right here. This is an important little item that I see a lot of you guys when you're streaming, you missed this. Don't miss this. It's right there. It's right there. Anyway, we're gonna grab this. We're gonna keep going. Just making sure your questions are getting answered and whatnot. Looks like they are. Woo! Always a big fan of how this looks. Like actual gameplay of this. Seems to be a little surreal to me. I dig it. We might also take a little detour too. I don't know if you guys know this, but there's actually a hole back here. Secure container with an energy sphere socket. Oh my goodness. Did you know this was back here? Whoop. Wonderful. You're not missing out on anything super crazy, but if you're trying to get all the things, you especially want to get all the secrets. Cool. So now that deed is done, we need to dock at this settlement. Ooh. You know, now that we have a striker, I feel like this is probably better to have a balance, especially for weapons. So we're gonna go ahead and take that. If we were still flying our Vanguard, I'd probably keep the old one because you need that boost. But we're gonna go with this. Gonna go ahead and skip this too. Loving how our cutscenes are coming together though. Feels good. I love the exploration pieces and locations a lot. I know there's a lot of people who complain about more calm elements of this game. Your vision is what counts. Well, I mean, thank you, first off. That's very much appreciated. And while I will agree that our vision is like it's what established the game to exist at all, we are still open to some interpretations of what that vision looks like. Now, I'm not saying that you guys can swoop in and like rewrite the whole game, right? But like, it's more than possible for individuals to come in and say, you know, their piece about a gameplay system, about the story, about a foundational component of the game, and us look at that and go, huh, maybe we do need to change this. Maybe there is a better way to go about this aspect. Now, it doesn't happen a lot, it doesn't happen frequently, so I'm not trying to like encourage you guys to like go to the forums and rewrite the game. That's not gonna happen, okay? But this process is made so much better through early access. And we have the deets on that because EVERSPACE 1 was shaped and transformed by you guys through that very early access process for its 1.0 release. So yeah, I mean, thank you for the praise, and right back at you guys for your dedicated suggestions and the feelings that you get pulled out of the game space. That helps us so much. That helps, like, it is the most joyful thing when I see a new post on the forums and I open up this thing and it's like, here's my incredibly detailed list of ideas, suggestions, feel goods, and needs work. And then it's just like a massive page, multiple pages worth of where they're at with the game space and what it was. Because then from there, that's where we can start seeing what needs to come next, right? It helps us see if our vision is being met accordingly, if there's something more we can do, or if there's something we need to take out. So thank you for all of you who go out of your way and compose those very massive lists. We've seen a healthy number of them on Steam. We've seen a pocket of them which have been very good as well over on GOG. So massive shout out to basically all of you who take that time and energy. It's tremendous, so thank you for that. Do you have a device on your ship to grab things, or is it just every ship ability? It's a general every ship ability, yes, but there are a couple devices that can tweak and move things even further. This particular ship, I did not get the passive that has it, but the Striker could have a passive that allows you to grab drones out of the air. And then there's also a device that can allow you to tether to an opponent and pull them to you, and also allows you to tether to objects and fling yourself to them. So physics be happening in the game. Physics be happening. Oh man, I really like the white, black, red combo of this cockpit. That looks nice. I mean, the lights help a lot, but dang, that is pleasant. Whoop! Up, up! It's fine, we got shields. Beautiful. Woo! Exploration is superb, it just keeps on giving. That's what we were hoping for. Yeah, so, yeah, all the locations are handcrafted. Like these intricate tunnels that you see underneath the planets, all of these locations are handcrafted. Every single location is handcrafted. Woo! It's been a lot of work. It's been a tremendous amount of work. But it's been coming together. We're pretty happy with the results thus far. Now, that's not to say we couldn't implement and we don't have procedurally generated locations, because we also do that. There's a way to do that. But those kind of populate as what you find in between your general handcrafted location progress. But even still, like, let's see. There's 8 systems here. Our plan is to hit at least 6 star systems for the 1.0 launch. Each location has, generally speaking, somewhere between 15 and 20 locations. Some can have way more, some can have way less. Just kind of depends. So, so with 6 minimum, right, we're looking at somewhere around 100 to 120 locations probably that are handcrafted. That's a lot. That's a lot of handcrafted locations. So, needless to say, it's been a lot of work. But we do that because we want the exploration to be meaningful. If we just did procedural generation, it's like, oh, well, I should randomly go this direction because I could randomly find some stuff to randomly benefit me at random. Not as appealing when you look over and you're like, oh, I think I saw a cave there. I haven't been over there. You go and inspect and all of a sudden enemies pop out and you're like, oh, this is actually a thing. Then you dive into it and now there's a puzzle and it unlocks a way to go deeper and then you get a good thing. Good things pending, by the way. I'm not just talking about a turn of bypasses. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. What? There's more loot coming that's going to be meaningful and gives it more incentives for exploration and discovery? Yes. Cool, glad we had that talk. All right, so let's go ahead and land here. I just noted we aren't using the other aim mode today. Not good for you after all, Eric. So I kind of been bouncing back and forth, Will. It's not that I don't like relative mouse positioning, relative mouse control. It's just that I've grown so accustomed to this particular movement system that we have, especially from EVERSPACE 1, because it's the same, right? So if I wanted to get better with the relative mouse, I would have to spend hours upon hours doing it, and I'd just like to be in a little bit more control. So I'm using it like this. For anyone who's like, wait, what is he talking about? Who is he talking to? I'm talking to Will, who's our marketing guru and streamer guru, influencer, streamer, influencer guru. He also helps me out with the tech stuff side of the streams. He's also in the community as a moderator, stuff like that. Anyway, as a manager, excuse me. But he's talking about a, let me just show you. Let me just freaking show you. So he's talking about an input setting that we added just a short time ago, where it's relative mouse positioning. So it's called auto move mouse back to center because we're trying to make it as easily understandable as possible. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this on. I'm also gonna change my crosshair behavior to centered. And I'm gonna explain that in just a moment. But basically the reason I'm doing this, you can see it immediately how the mouse has changed. The dot is now directly in the middle. And when I move the mouse in a direction, so let's say I go left and I let go of the mouse, then the screen centralizes on where I moved the mouse. Okay? This could be incredibly powerful to a number of you out there who are more akin to any FPS that exists. Generally speaking, when you start moving left, you don't keep spinning in a circle, right? And that's what this is designed to not do. So you don't keep spinning, it just goes to where you're pointing, and then it stops. And when you use this in conjunction with, you know, constantly moving to the right, you can still do these spinning things, but it inevitably slows down because you run out of space on your on your office desk or, you know, whatever. Still works, but I also like to center the mouse whenever I do this, because if you don't have that centered, at least for me, when it's floating, it goes like this, and then it's constantly being pulled back to the middle, right? So if you're trying to line up a shot with an enemy, you have to like constantly be dragging the mouse now, and while it's possible, this is particularly challenging for me since I'm not used to the mouse like pulling its way back to the middle. So all of these options are there for you. You can mix and match and customize however you want. If I were to use it, I'd use the centered crosshair behavior. But regardless, I like having floating and then the relative mouse control disabled. If I ever want to go back in the middle, you can actually see this circle right here I have enabled. This is also toggleable from the menu options. Like, let me just show you. Look at all these accessibility things that we added so that you know what the heck you are doing. So this one is, my face is gonna get in the way. You can see the mouse dead zone right here. I have it on show. The dead zone, whenever the mouse is in that position, in that circle, you no longer move at all. And then I have the center indicator, which is just that itty bitty little white dot. I just like having it on. Again, if you don't like it, you turn it off. You turn it off, it gives a bit more realism, right? So now I don't know where the exact middle is, and I could start like drifting, right? That could be annoying. It's like, okay, well now it's in the middle, right? Well, you're still drifting. So I like having it on so I can reposition accordingly. But also if you're using this, I'm going on a little bit of a demonstration here because it's important, but if you're ever doing this and you're starting to get dizzy, just bump the Alt button. Just bump the Alt button. See, look, just bump the Alt button and it recenters the mouse. That is because when you hold down Alt, it goes into this view. It goes into this view where you can see all the things happening. And when you release it, it centers where you were facing. So all those settings can be found in your input mouse and keyboard for the style that it moves, and then the gameplay for what it's revealing. I am showing both the dead zone and that center point, and that's what that looks like. The white dot is the very middle. The dead zone, while my mouse is in here, my ship is not moving at all. There you go. How many alternate bypasses are currently in the game? I believe it's... I should talk with Grindel. He knows. We've had some die-hard players. I think it's like 61, 62. It's somewhere around there. Well, Finn's actually says 61. So it's somewhere around there. And I will also note that when we continue adding components to the game space, one of the components that we are adding will help you understand what locations there's still... Wow, this got real loud. Hang on one second. Let me just pause for a second. But we'll be adding components to the map that help you understand if you've collected everything or not. And I mean to say this is beyond just like this little check mark. So right now, this is kind of the way to know if you have found the Eterna bypass by completing the location challenge. A check mark appears when the location challenge is completed. But it doesn't tell you anything more than that. How many did you collect? Is there anything else? Is there value going back to this site whatsoever? Right now, this doesn't really clarify. There's not really any incentive other than if you're looking for Bloodstar gear, you could go there. Or if there's something else that's missing, that you don't know about, that will be added. That will be added. So you will know if there's value in a location or not that's worth your time to head on back to. Also, I have a feeling these guys are gonna give me a little bit of trouble. I did not prepare myself accordingly for this battle, so we might die here. In my defense, this is a bit harder of a challenge. Things escalate a little bit quickly. You survived? If we had more enemies, we would probably be doing a bit more stuff here. Let's give ourselves some space to work with. Quantum Entangler can be a nasty tool in the right situation. Unfortunately for us, we don't really have a nasty situation to capitalize on. Oof. Now we kind of spaced ourselves out so we could regenerate our shields, getting some armor back. We're gonna be fine from here. Cool. It pays to be prepared. Probably should have had a better energy weapon, but I mean, blaster's okay. Watch where you're driving, Alec. Jeez. Horags, I tell ya. Oh, hello, pulse laser. All right. Oh. You like offering several input schemes? Yeah, I mean, we do too, clearly. But yeah, we saw the, you know, the desire from the community. We had little pockets of relative mouse controls, and we didn't actually think it was a big deal at first, but it kind of kept showing up more and more and more. So you guys convinced us that it needed to be added. So Andy went out of his way to incorporate that, and thankfully it wasn't too crazy challenging to drop in. So we are happy with the end result. I think a lot of you are going to be pleased with how well it ends up working. Even though I don't prefer it, I did an entire stream using those controls, and they work quite well. I don't prefer them, but they're good. Is there a bullet time ability? Time extender, Spoot Knight says, yep. There could be new things that happen in the future, though. Who knows? I certainly don't have a clue. I like how we fought all of those Okar and the music never got, like, dire. The ship's color scheme looks cool on the underside of this thing. I like that a lot. I'm really digging this. Another question on ship design. Okay, let's answer it because I see you posted it twice and I missed it. Sorry about that. So Beard Frog asks, I have another question on ship design. When we go to customize the ship design, can we have it take us to a room with a neutral lighting so we can see the true colors of the ship easier? I feel like that's a pretty fair request. I have seen some of the complaints about, you know, the lighting being difficult to colorize correctly. I'm sure we'll tweak it at the very least inside the home base further, it might be difficult to do that thoroughly for every single location, which has dynamic lighting effects all over the place. Because like, as you know, your ship doesn't go into a location. It's kind of like docked on the outside. That way we can kind of streamline that process of you drop, you do the things, you launch, and you keep going on. But we'll see. We'll see is the point. I'm not gonna say it's not possible. I personally like to see it too, so you're aware. Having a different spotlight in the hangar for customization. Yeah, you like change. I like that. It's like you have a headlight and you like change the direction it's coming from, change the color output of the, I mean, that could be fun. That could be really fun. I'm sure whenever I go to Andy, I'm like, hey, what do you think about adding a spotlight into the customization section that you can manually control and change colors of? He's probably gonna look at me and he's gonna be like, are you serious, Eric? Of all the things that we're doing right now, this is what you want to put emphasis on? Don't worry. It's not because he's overwhelmed with things to plug in. Oh wait, no, that's exactly what it is. We're hard at work and figuring a lot of stuff. Again, I like the idea. That'll be logged into that would be super nice to have super low priority list, but cool nonetheless. I dig it. I really do. Woo! I love zipping by the little ships. The sound design, like Giho's done so much work. It's done. It's done already. How dare you? I love it. More ambient noises. What's happening with the host? Why is he semi-transparent? I am highly resilient to the Thanos snap. Thanos keeps trying. He's over there. He's just doing this. That's savage. I've already told him I have immunities from Infinity Stones. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So you might see a little effect here and there, but don't worry, I'm fine. All right. The Salver display is new. It's been in. That one was in. But we have updated other signage, Michael. You are correct. That's a process that we are still working over, by the way, everybody. Prescott Starbase, you've seen several editions, and I kind of did a bit of a fly through. New music, new sound design. There's still more assets that are getting optimized, which also makes them look better too. So it's a win-win. It's going to be easier to fly through on your harder, older systems, and yet the game is going to look better for it. So there'll be new additions in the future. I can't remember, actually I don't know the specific number of new assets that are still in the works, but I know that the starting point, when you guys got like the first delivery of Prescott, we had like some 30 plus items that we were revamping. And to my understanding, every single one of those items is still on the docket to get revamped. They were placeholders when Prescott was first revealed. What? That's kind of crazy. So, yeah. So I think there's been about 5, 6 updated ones, and so there's still a lot more coming. I hope that's right. Maybe it's more like 10. It's somewhere around there, but there's still a lot more refinements taking place across the board, and not just for Prescott too, I might add. But through that process, I already showed you the map screen and how everything's handcrafted, so, you know, just hold on to your butts. Still a freaking lot more coming. Anybody who's wondering, we're about 65% done with the game space. Presently, whenever we hit the Kite Nebula drop, we'll be closer to 70-75%. So there's still a healthy amount of content to come. Still a healthy amount of content to come. All right, let's go chase down Maddox. Whoop. What type of engine do we have? It's just a standard booster. That explains a lot. And we lost our output for our boost. I think we'll be okay. Striker's pretty fast when it comes to boosting, but just might be a little annoying. Oh, we can teleport. We're fine. We can teleport. Repair your ship? Oh, I should have done that. Mr. Streamer. I like how cordial this is. From Aleph02 over on Twitch. Are there any kind of ridiculously OP locations not connected to main story, like not supposed to be visited, ones planned in later systems? I know Michael is watching, and there have been conversations that we've had internally on what we can say about these things and what we can't. So the long story short is yes, but I can give you no further details at this time. And it is painful for me to say that and not be able to follow up or explain it. You know, it's just a fun little story time here, okay? So, there are times when there are posts on the forums of people complaining about things that would make the game great, about things that they think would make the experience so much better, that internally, like, we know and are maybe doing. And we see people get into like these heated arguments about it, and we're just like, ah! Oh my goodness. Let me tell you what, I love where your mind's at. Like, so many people come to our forums, they're like, listen here, Rockfish, I'm gonna do your job for you because I know what you need. Boom, 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 boom. And we're just looking at that list going, he put words on a forum. Yep, that's what he did. He did it. That's the thing he did. All right, back to the game. Why does the item in the bottom left have a purple tint to it? Robo Joe, great question. That basically means the item is too high level for us to use. Now, itemization is not done, but it is possible to go to higher level locations currently because of the soft level scaling that we have implemented. And when you go to a place that you're not actually supposed to be yet, you can gain stuff that's too high. Now, there's a trade-off to this, obviously, because one is that now you have something to look forward to while you hang on to it, but two, it's hogging an inventory slot. So Maybe you go put it into your base or something. I'm just, you know, whatever, I'm just hanging on to it. But the second I level up, I'll be able to plop that pulse laser on. I'm gonna feel good about it. So that way, and we also, I mentioned soft level scaling. That can open a big can of worms with you guys. Long story short is we are using a degree of level scaling. It's not straight up enemies are your same level. We're gonna consolidate, we're just gonna nip that in the bud right now. But we are doing it to where loot is a bit more meaningful where you're at and where you are in the game space and location wise too. We designed it that way so that loot should have meaning regardless of what it is you are doing. We don't want you, for example, to ever be in a situation where you're, say, level 20, you go to a level 1 location and literally everything you find is valueless. You store it all in your cargo space, you take it back to a store and you sell it for about 500 gold total. That sucks. That doesn't feel good. It adds nothing to the game space except for time. It's a major grind. It's not what we're designing the game for. So soft level scaling means that if you're high level and you're going to a low level location, the loot is going to scale up close to you. It's still not going to be as good if you were going to a high level location, but there's going to be far more cases of value being pulled out of that, whether it's monetary gain, whether it's from salvaging, whether it's from combining it with set item, etc., etc., etc. So there is a very specific purpose for us using soft level scaling as opposed to just, oh, we want you to constantly be challenged in the game. Your progression system doesn't matter, it's just a bunch of stats. Whoa! No, it's far more than that. It's far more than that. So there you go. Ouch. Oh yeah, the striker's starting to shine here. Getting a bunch of enemies in our area. I probably need a better shield though. I'm noticing it's going down a lot. Ooh, high velocity? I saw high velocity something. That feels good. All right. Let's see some of the stuff that we collected. Felt like, yeah, we did get a thermo gun there. Nah. Oh, it's a high velocity scatter gun. That's kind of cool. That's kind of cool. I like my repeater. We're gonna hang on to the repeater. And then we also have a flak. Let's use the flak. I think it's a Michael favorite, so we'll go ahead and drop that one in. Yeah, we need a new shield so bad. This actually doesn't work very well with the ship that we're using. This would have been ideal on the Vanguard, which was ideal on the Vanguard. Hey guys, look, I just found a bug. So, so each one of the factions in the game has like a respective background image. So here you have Shiva. Here you have Shiva again, because the speed word is taking the last faction and then applying it to it. Because if you look over here at the Blood Star, you have the background there. Then we go down here, it's the Blood Star still. That's a fun bug. I bet that's the first time we caught that. So I'm talking about it in length so that somebody can clip it, drop it in the Discord, and we'll get that fixed. Yeah, that's a new one. But regardless, we have several different factions that will play a role in the itemization in the future. For now, some of these are just like thematic. For example, Shiva systems. they're known for their swift power. And so they have more standardized energy output items overall. Whereas like Bloodstar's more about like hitting and running, so you're constantly moving with speed to do your attacks. Stuff like that. So we'll have more of that make an appearance in the future. Bloodstar's the only set item bonus at this time. But I'm sure that will change. Probably. Maybe. And now we have this little race challenge, which the striker actually goes faster than Maddox, so he has to keep speeding up. Now this might be real bad, so I'm gonna try and be careful as I'm driving. Oh gosh! Yep, real bad indeed. Oh, we could very realistically die in one shot here. Oh gosh! Yikes. Ouch! Woo! Okay, I think we're okay. Up! 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 Low ceiling. Oh, I missed that corner. Oof, missed that as well. All right, cool. Rubber drones are taken care of. Everything else will be fine. Oh, another Weber drone. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, there we go. Would have been ideal to use the ult there, I'm now realizing, but oh well. Missed chance. Maybe we'll get a meteor target and show that in just a moment. Ooh, Aquarius. This is also a new color that we actually added in the Zarkov update. We're going back to base, I see. All right. Here, let me help you dock. A little rough on the landing there, bud. Perfect. Cool. Skill o'clock, I see. It wasn't my best performance. I do like that run through the holes section of this map though. I have a lot of fun with it. I'm seeing a lot of streamers like have fun with it too, or get frustrated by it because they're not as skillful. Heyo! But feels good. Feels good. Watch a sniper drone nuke him. Yeah, it could have happened. But we did adjust sniper drones in this particular version. On the version that you guys are playing, they're still broken, so get wrecked. Ha! Ha! But there will be an update, and the sniper drones will lead their target and show you where they're aiming, as opposed to just like almost 99% of the time get a free shot on you, because that sucks. It does actually suck. Has been addressed. A guided missile like the Descent series, or a guided missile from like, I don't know, the Galaxy on Fire series. You know, there's been discussion about that. If it's applicable to the game space or not is being contested. So I mean, what I can say is there's going to be a lot more equipment still coming, but we're also not trying to like, we don't want to add stuff that doesn't have value, right? So we're being careful on what's getting added. That can't be like mimicked in some way, shape, or form through modifiers as well, through equipment, right? Like for example, the pulse laser MX and the pulse laser in EVERSPACE 1 were 2 different items. In EVERSPACE 2, you can actually have 2 different pulse lasers with different modifiers that make one operate more similarly to a standard pulse laser and one that operates more similarly to a pulse laser MX. Furthermore, you also have faction-based loot. So you have the Jaeger. The Jaeger is a pulse laser that has 100% precision. It shoots exactly where you're pointing every single time. So we have those variations too. It just keeps going from there. Itemization is crazy, and it's like such a talking point that we have internally, because it needs to be good. That's what the game is built around, is the itemization. It's a looter freaking shooter. So if we can't get that right, then everything else doesn't matter, right? So we are taking care of that. All right, sorry. I just needed that. I like it. I dig those vibes. Oh, there was a destroyer on the other. I should have went back and fought it. Don't worry, we'll blow something up big. Skip all this. Quick restock, thanks. Look, guys, I repaired. Also, pulse laser. Where are you at? Let's go ahead and drop this in place of our blaster. Ooh, that's a pretty purple. I like it. So I'm gonna go off the beaten path here for a second because I want to go fight some bad guys. So instead of doing the next mission, we are going all the way down to our high-risk area that I activated forever ago. So it's probably gonna be real easy, but that's fine. It's fine. We get to blow stuff up, show you the quantum entangler, which is, it's a skill-based alt. It's probably the most powerful alt and also the worst alt at the same time. If you use it correctly, you win. GG, everything's done. If you use it incorrectly, what a waste, everything sucks, and you die. Like, this, it's insane. Like, it's got a crazy high and a crazy low. The way that it works is that you target an opponent, and all the damage that you strike that opponent with is dealt to everything that it is entangled with. It is absolutely savage for high-risk areas, which is why I'm going back to a high-risk area. Community art reminder, are we going to today? You know, there were a couple of new additions in the fan art section. I did not procure any. We could still pop open the Discord and kind of run through it very briefly though. We could do that. There's always cool stuff that you guys capture. Like, I am seriously floored by the dedication and the detail that you guys have, even if it's just like the way your ship looks, to a beautiful composition of crazy happenings in the game space, to everything else. It's pretty crazy. Give me a device alt consumable that does crazy physics things, like a gravity well or something that groups everything together. Cause I think that sounds awesome. Does the alt have an enemy cap? Like specific types of enemies that you can use it on? Is that what you're meaning to say? Because as far as I'm aware, you can use alts on anything and everything. There are some caps pertaining to devices as of right now. But things can change. Oh my gosh, speaking of change, let's get out of that mess. Yikes. Okay. Let's see. Let's target down drones first. Especially those Weber drones. Okay, good. Good flat cannon. Good flat cannon. Still have one more drone left. Cool. Now that they're cleaned out. Oops. I think, actually, this guy's priority. Take him out. Good. Now, some of you might be wondering, why hasn't he used his ult yet? I thought he was going to use that. Well, we will. Don't you worry. I want the big bad boss guy in. And then to, like, make it really obscure, I might even, add some extra enemies in. Just to show you the power that it offers. But yeah, this combat sequence, these guys are under-leveled because when I activated the signal decoder, I was either level 7 or I was even level 6. So when you activate those, you want to... I'm actually going to use this. And we're going to get rid of that one. But you actually want to use those pretty quickly. Get a lot of straight bonuses. Let's also clear out some inventory. Just so that we can keep picking things up. All right, now we're back in. Beautiful. Another sensor. Okay, so now we have a boss that comes in, and so guys, I just wanted to point out that there's a wonderful place that you can go for all things EVERSPACE 2 related. It's actually quite the delight. It's so great. It's so great. We have this Discord. We've got YouTube, we've got Twitter, Twitch, Instagram. Instagram is actually where we provide a lot of fun times when it comes to your screenshots. Like, seriously, it's kind of absurd with how much that we provide love for you guys and what you've done. So, yeah, don't stop being awesome in that regard, because it's seriously amazing. And yeah, I don't know what else we were doing other than just talking about that for a brief second. But hey, while you guys were gone, something crazy happened. So this opponent, yeah, like, I thought it was gonna be super easy. So over the comms, I made a your mama joke, and then like all these guys warped in. So let me just show you the crazy effect of this ultimate, so you are all aware. You ready? Those are all the opponents that I just spawned in. I mean, warped in. They all be dead. This ult is insanely powerful. Also, I quite like this shot. So yeah, there you go. All right, let's finish this guy off. Now, as of right now, you can actually get your ultimates back through using the ultimates. This may or may not change. This may or may not change. We're just gonna put this on again to make sure that we, oh gosh. That's a lot of damage. You get the kill here? Did we get it? Oh my gosh, you got armor one more time, really? Look at how little armor he has! Oh my gosh! That's so silly! Alright, that'll take care of it. Yay! And obviously these high-risk locations, they can give you a lot of loot. The loot that they drop is dependent on the tier of the signal decoder that you find. So, for example, very well, I accept. For example, you could find something that largely doesn't have value, like just a standard signal decoder. You could find that and be like, I don't need this. Go and sell it, because signal decoders have value associated with them, credit value. I think even like a standard, like a common tier signal decoder is still worth like 1,000 credits. That's nothing to scoff at when you're trying to like grind for credits. If you were to grind for credits. But otherwise, like all of these other goods that we just found, like some ripe opportunities for selling all this type of stuff. Cool. I want to make sure that I'm not missing any questions, because that was a lot of combat there. But man, I love that ult so much. It might, man, it's hard to say if it's my favorite ult. Gosh dang it. I just like a lot of the different things that we're incorporating into the game space. There's something so pure and righteous when it comes to the bomber and using the ARC 9000. Like, let's be honest. Rifts are still planned for the end game. Yes, Fins. Absolutely. And actually, no, I can change the wording on that one. Rifts, I can promise, will be an addition because it was backed. Rifts, I can promise. Not that we won't make 6 systems, because we will. That's the minimum. We could make more than that. Did he say riffs? Yeah, so the Kickstarter, if you look at the Kickstarter, we had one stretch goal that was hit right before the end of the crowdfunding campaign. And what it will provide when we add it is the ability to open up a rift using some form of ancient technology that will send you through a, for all intents and purposes, a roguelike loop. It's the best way to describe it. You're going to get procedurally generated locations with challenges galore that the further you get, the more loot you get, and when you die, you're simply removed from the rift. You keep all of your stuff, and based on how well you did, you're going to get lots of stuff or little bits of stuff. It is an in-game state to the game that we will be incorporating for the 1.0 release. EVERSPACE 1 and EVERSPACE 2. Yeah, that's how I describe it. That's how I describe it. Now, obviously, there's still gonna be some differences there, but yeah. Back in my day, Arc 9000 was craftable. Yeah, so through some of the in-game lore, you actually learn a bit of the Arc 9000 struggles. But for the Colonials in particular, yes, their fighters from the Okar colonial conflict in particular were able to retrofit the Arc 9000 on their 4 variations, right? Which were the Interceptor, the Scout, the Gunship, and the Sentinel. And that technology, as much as some would like it to remain, kind of went under the wayside when the creators of the Arc 9000 had some bureaucratic and political messes to deal with. They were much harder to obtain. You actually see this through Turin's side quest using the DLC of EVERSPACE 1. And as the Arc 9000 became harder and harder to get a hold of, so too did the production slip further and further into decline. That being said, it did not stop the fine engineers who still live in the DMZ to say, screw you Colonials, I want to have an Arc 9000 in some degree or capacity. So there were those who found a way to not only re-enkindle the Arc 9000's components, but do so in a regenerating capability that has now been used on the body of the Bomber class throughout the DMZ. The Arc 9000 shouldn't technically be here anymore. But the Bomber said, nay, I'm just gonna make them whenever I freaking want. Back in my day, disassembling Arc 9000 gave you dark matter. Yes, also true. Excellent. I think that this is actually a really good spot to end the gameplay progression of the stream today. We still have a couple more minutes. I'm kind of feeling a little wonky today. So I think I'm gonna cut out of here just a tad bit early. So, still, that being said, I want to answer any other questions that you guys had that maybe I missed and whatnot, so that we can get that added clarity. And then next week, we should come back with the usual broadcast. Bomber's your favorite class right now. Bomber's nice. Bomber is a nice class. It feels pretty good. Black hole win. So black hole is definitely something that is really cool. We're trying to figure out if it's appropriate for the game space that is EVERSPACE 2. Mostly being that the locations are persistent. So if there was a black hole out here, what effect would that have on the locations nearby? How would that be interpreted in game lore? How is that gonna like fit into the whole of things? Now, at the same time, we could just say, screw it, video game, and just plop it in like at random. So there is that possibility. But as of right now, it's real hard to say black hole yay or black hole nay. I appreciate all the love and feeling better. I do appreciate that. I mean, we're just gonna be cutting this stream short like a minute or so. I mostly need water and I'm out. That's honestly why. I'm cutting the stream short because of water. But I digress. Were there any other questions to like cover before we sneak out of here? It's that radiation sickness. Oh yeah, from the green screen. Oh my gosh. Nice. Guys, I'm not feeling good. I need water. What a plant. Okay, all right. Look, okay. I don't even have a retort for that. Whatever, I'm a plant. Eric is a plant, confirmed. Speaking of plants! Speaking of plants! I'm not gonna say anything because I can't. I didn't tell you anything. That's all. Rude, but kind of on point. All right, guys. Oh my goodness. You guys have been wonderful. Thank you so much for all the questions and observations today. It has been a very fun stream. I know sometimes the more chill ones are a bit laid back and maybe there's not, you know, all these fancy little things being showcased, but I am glad that you enjoy the new music that we're able to show. And I'm also glad you're able to hang out and have a good time as I give you the lowdown on what ROCKFISH is up to. It's pretty cool how receptive you guys are and how open you are to our feedback, or excuse me, how open we are to our transparency and how open we are to your feedback. There it is. You guys have been amazing. And I can only ask that you don't stop being awesome. And I won't stop being Eric Schrader, your community ambassador for all things ROCKFISH games. And that's all I got. Okay. That's it. Toodles. Oh my goodness. Are these guys the cutest?